Hey everyone, it's been a while. I now have a camera, like I said in my last post, so that's exciting. um, this is going to be my 16 and a half months on testosterone update. Um, I don't know if you can see him. This is my friend Taxi. He's chilling on my lap, kind of sticking his butt in my face. But he's cool. I enjoy his company. Um, Not much has changed. Basically, it's like all of the same things as before, but just increasing. Um, I've been getting a lot of questions lately on my blog in regards to dick growth. Um, so I guess I could talk about that. Um, it's Mine's pretty big. I lost my measuring tape, so I don't know how big it is, but I know that it's pretty big. Like I know that, like even amongst like trans people, like most people are pretty shocked at how big it is. Which is, I guess, it's kind of a weird thing to say. I think on my middle finger it goes to like here from the tip, something like that. I don't know if you can see that because the lighting isn't so great, but I'll put a link to the post that I wrote about it in the in the description of the video. Um, it's really sensitive, which is kind of annoying because it like hits my boxers a lot, right where it's like the most sensitive at the tip. Um, well, despite that though, it doesn't make it like any easier to get off per se. Um, like I guess I would have expected. Um, but yeah, I'm also like big enough to jack off in a normative way, but I don't because it feels better to do other things instead. Not that that matters, but yeah. Um, I'm getting a lot of facial hair. I haven't shaved in a while, and I'm also going to continue to not shave for No Shave November. So maybe I'll post some pictures at the end of the month about that. I haven't shaved in about a month as it is. I don't know if you can see, but in case you can. um, so yeah, it's coming in more on my cheeks. It's definitely very patchy. Um, in terms of where it came in first. It came in on my lip first, although it's not progressing on my lip the fastest either. Um, and then it's showing up underneath my chin the most. Um, and now it's growing in like lines on my cheeks, like right here. I haven't been on hormones consistently because of like emotional and financial reasons. Like, if I don't feel comfortable asking for my shot, then I just won't. Um, and then I'll miss 2 weeks of testosterone, right? And oh, I upped my prescription. I was originally prescribed 0.25 milliliters every week of 200 milligrams of testosterone, and then I just started taking 0.5. Then I was re-prescribed 0.5 every other week, so I wouldn't have to take as many shots. And then I just started taking 1 milliliter every other week, without my doctors advising me that. Because I had done it on accident once and it made me feel really good, and so I just kept doing it. I wouldn't advise that other people do that. It's potentially really dangerous, and when you take too much testosterone, it actually um, causes your body. I don't know exactly how the science works, but it either ups your estrogen levels when you take too much, or your body processes it and turns it into estrogen. I don't know which. I just know that either way, you get the effects of estrogen if you take too much testosterone, which I'm assuming that you don't want if you're taking testosterone in the first place in terms of like medical transition. Um, So yeah, in terms of like not having consistent shots, it's been messing with my emotions a lot. I notice that when I don't take my shot, I get really, really, really depressed. Uh, Depression is something I already deal with, and so it just like amplifies that. It doesn't necessarily, like, it's not that I don't deal with depression, then it makes me depressed out of nowhere. I already am depressed, but it just makes it worse, a lot worse. I don't know if it's like messed with changes at all, but I do know that like it's physically best to be consistent with hormone intake. That's not to say that not taking, like, stopping hormone usage is like bad or whatever. But if you're going to do it, like, do it consistently. Um, so yeah, I've lost a lot of weight. I don't work out, although I have been like building muscle like in my biceps. I'm wearing a sweater. It's cold, and I'm also not binding. So, in terms of that, like, I don't even know if you can see my chest, but if you can, I'd prefer that you not mention being able to see it. But I've been getting a lot of comments asking if I work out, because of like muscle growth, which is cool. It makes me happy. It also helps the fact that I've lost like 20 pounds in 2.5 months or something like that. So yeah. I don't, like I said, not much has changed. I certainly look different than when I first started, and like cumulatively, a lot has changed. But in terms of like the last 2 months or so, nothing really. And yeah. Oh, I'm starting to get chest hair. I definitely have like a pretty furry belly. My happy trail not only is like beneath my belly button, but it extends above my belly button by an inch or two. And yeah. I think that might be all. It's not too exciting, but I thought I'd update you and let you know that I'm alive and well, and I also wanted to like mention, in case like anybody else was wondering, I guess withdrawals, if you will, from not being on testosterone, even though I'm still on it. Like, I don't know what it's like to not be on it for an extended period of time. Like, for example, experiencing like things that I don't experience anymore now that I'm on hormones. I haven't like not taken my shot long enough to say, for example, get a period again. But I have been off of it long enough in between shots that it does like significantly mess with my emotions, and so that might be of some interest to you if you are looking to get off testosterone, to like be aware of that and like mentally prepare for a potential amplification of your current emotional state. I don't know if it's going to react the same way for you. Probably not. In that, like, all of our bodies are different, but that being a possibility is definitely a real one, I think. And so yeah, I will talk to you all later. Okay, bye.